Okay, good afternoon, Year 6 parents and adults. I'm Mr. Land, and Mr. Prattley, the IT technician, is just coming into shot. He's the other Year 6 teacher here.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for obviously logging on and watching the video, the Welcome to Year 6 video. And we just think we'd run you through obviously some of the key pointers for the year and what is ahead for this term as well.
Yeah, and if after watching the video you've still got any questions or anything that you'd like clearing up or a bit more clarity on, then don't be afraid to get in touch via the school email, and we'll do our best to sort of help you out with that. So let's move on.
Okay, straight in. Some housekeeping. So hopefully children know this anyway. PE is every week, and it's every Tuesday, and then every other Thursday. And the session with CM Sports is on the week 2 cycle of their school curriculum. So it's this week. Last week was the first week of school for the children. So last week was week 1. This week is week 2, and then it will be every other Thursday after that.
Yeah, we'll try and remind the children of when they need their PE kit, but might be worth making a note in the diary of the Thursdays when they do need it, so they'll come to school dressed in their PE kit on those days.
Yeah. And we're just thinking maybe some earrings to be perhaps taken out, or obviously covered with a plaster when they're doing PE, but the earrings to be maybe just not even worn to school. It was just the thought we had. Not that we don't wear earrings, but it's just
if I did wear earrings, I'd definitely take them out on a Tuesday and a Thursday.
Yeah, just to save them the kind of having to find plasters and sellotape and things, safety tape for that.
And I think we will regularly do the PE, so it will happen every Tuesday and every other Thursday.
Yeah.
We're kicking off with running, and
or cross country.
So they'll be on the school field, or if we can't do it on the school field, around the school grounds. But it would be good for the children to wear trainers on those days rather than sort of a plimsoll or something that doesn't give them quite as much bounce or support.
Yeah. Obviously, we know how important PE is, and obviously important for their well-being, and for getting outside and for getting stuck into some physical activity. And we know what the benefits are. So it's really important for us. Happy?
Yeah, very happy. Right, so in school, our learning focus, I think our focus is in Year 6 and across the school is on giving the children a broad and balanced curriculum. So for this term, I'll take you through the science. So we're looking at having a good balance of science, PE, computing and maths that will tie in, everything we do in those subjects will tie in and link together through our study of the human circulation and movement. So the outcomes from the PE sessions, where children might wear a heart rate monitor, for example, will then be used to inform other subjects like our science and computing as well. Yeah. So I think they'll really enjoy that.
Yeah. And then through the history and geography study, we'll be comparing two civilizations, the ancient Greeks and the Mayans. And the children will really obviously be able to, by the end of that, be able to compare and contrast life between those two civilizations, the role of women in the civilizations during those times, and just like what the impact is on the world today, and what those two kind of civilizations did for the modern world.
Yeah, good. And then on the PPA days, so that's a Thursday. On a Thursday morning, when they don't have their PE, they'll be given a rich subjects to enjoy. So they get to indulge in philosophy for children, or P4C, that's led by Mr. Cunningham, where the children are sort of given an idea, and then they come up with a question that they want to sort of investigate around that idea. So real deep thinking out of that one. And then also they'll have French and Spanish with Madame Moncongère, and art with Mrs. Pearson on the P4C days, and of course the PE with the CM Sports specialists. there as well.
Yeah, so hopefully the children are excited a little bit about it, what's ahead for this term. We are both excited.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
God, it's that. Keep it going. Reading. We love reading. So we are having a large push on reading in the year group this year. And hopefully you would have received home the letter that's been sent out regarding the home reading and the reading journal and the must reads, and then shortly there'll be some information about the reading passport as well. So if we just quickly run through what's expected of the children in those.
Yeah. So the 6 must reads are 6 throughout the year. The children can read them in any order, whatever order they fancy, whichever one they like the look of the best, they can start with that. We've spoken about that with the children already, and it's really just designed to try and let the children immerse and marinate in a bit of a rich kind of reading text, and hopefully it kind of hits both boys and girls alike. And there's hopefully quite a good range of book and text type there as well.
Yeah, so I might maybe talk about the reading passport now. So there will be a reading passport issued for the autumn term
this week.
This week, we do not know the sort of the date that needs to be completed by, but I expect it to be sort of near the end of November, so that then the children who sort of win a prize that's awarded for those who complete it. Get a chance to take that before Christmas, but like maybe in year 5 or year 4 you were used to the children having maybe 10 or 12 books to read. In year 6, because the children start reading bigger, thicker books, more text, we find it's quite an arse to get them to read 12 decent novels, for example. So we've decided to scale that down to 8 books to be read by the end of November. And then we will also put in 2 of the must-read books into that to make that less of an onerous sort of ask on the children.
We want this to be a kind of, well, not a smart target, but just something that's realistic, something that they feel like they can achieve, and just I feel like 8 books, within a 2-3 month period is a more kind of realistic target for our children.
Yeah. Well, and to enjoy it, and not for it to be a pressure that they're under to get it done. Yeah. And the whole purpose is to expand their reading horizons and to expose them to different types of book. Then we got the home reading journal, which is new for this year, which really is just so that the children have a record of the books they have read over the year. So every 2 weeks, and they've already done the front cover of that as their first homework, but every 2 weeks they just need to produce like a simple book review of their choice within that book to show us like what they've been reading and how they feel about the characters or any of the other things that they can think about, and that's the information's on the front cover, isn't it?
Yeah.
Inside, so they can really think about
There's a template there, and it only 2-3 sentences for the book review. Again, nothing onerous. It should just be a more of a kind of summarising of it and what they think.
But really, we'll have a closer look at the books the children are choosing to read. But I think this year, more than ever, we really want to get them to delve into some more just different books than maybe they would choose ordinarily. So to get away from maybe your Tom Gates and the Diary of a Wimpy Kid type of books, and get into some books that will really give them the language that they need to be hearing, because they're the sorts of texts that they'll need to be able to understand. Happy with that, Mr.
Yeah.
Ann?
I'll move back. Just the reading journal. The reading passport. That will cover two of these books. Will be within the reading passport. So we'll try and double down on that, just to make again life easier really for the children. Yeah, and it kind of makes logical sense a little bit. Yeah.
Makes sense to us, doesn't it?
I think so.
Should be all right.
I think so.
All right, out of school. you know, I'm sure most parents, well, all parents watching this sort of, you know, used to helping the children at home and know what they can do to help. But there's a few little tips here. So what we've got there, little and often is better and more balanced than doing it all at once. So we were thinking, you know, if they get their homework, which is set on a Monday, rather than trying to do it all on a Monday or a Tuesday or any one night of the week, then just to spread that out over the course of the week is probably better. And like it says in the brackets, builds good habits for secondary school, where they have to do homework on different nights.
You know, they could then spend some time, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you know, reading, perhaps, you know, one of the reading passport books, and then just trying to build into that daily is again just going to get them through the tasks.
Yeah, so just daily reading, like before bed or something like that, would be ideal, wouldn't it? It's not won't be seen as taken away from anything else that they might want to do. Yeah. Weekly spellings. So they have an English homework book. So the weekly spellings have gone into that. So they should like write a definition of the words, try and put them into context in a sentence, so that they can actually use them in their writing rather than just know how to spell them. Yeah.
And then there's in the back of their English homework books, there's a task for this year called Mr. Prattley's discuss the word fluency homework with your child to broaden their vocabulary. I think we've called it kind of like they'll be developing in the back of their book a kind of word or vocabulary tapestry over the course of the term. So whatever the word focus is for that week that you'll talk about. They can then transfer that word or few words into the back of their book again and put it down into. They got like a grid in the back of their book, and then again the idea is just that they'll be able to weave that into some writing, you know, on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I think they've been used to doing that in year 5.
Yeah.
So it might be that this is more focused, so maybe fewer words, but. Hopefully the focus is on the application. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Like Mr. Land said, daily reading. So just reading like once a day at a certain time, just get into good habits like that. You know, and maybe ask them if you do hear them read. You know, what's happened? Can you just summarise that chapter or that paragraph, or you know, how's the character feeling? Just little questions to make them think about what they're reading, rather than them just reading the text.
Yeah. That kind of the gist, the text understanding and the gist is really big for year 6 as it was in year 5 and previous years. But they're kind of, if you're understanding that whole text, then it's just really going to help them have a handle on what they're going to then do with the questions.
Yeah. And if they're reading a book that's a good level for them, like a slight challenge, then there will be some vocabulary in there that they will need help with. So. We can build their vocabulary just by talking about that.
That word fluency homework is really just a discussion with your child. So it's not an onerous task too much. Just it's about having that dialogue, that dialogic talk at home.
Yeah. This last one I think is a leftover from some other time. We don't really do the topic pyramid anymore, do we? Move on.
Ignore, move on.
Yeah. What do we need to bring to school? Well, probably some enthusiasm for learning is what we need. Yeah. Your homework on a Friday needs to come in on a Friday. So obviously, if they need to bring their books back on a Friday, so that they're in school for the Monday. And on the Friday, we'll try and mark it in class, like, you know, as much as we can. They'll get feedback on the homework in the class on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I mean they can bring the homework back Thursday as well if they've done it, rather than just forgetting it accidentally on the Friday. That's fine as well. Yeah.
We haven't given them out yet, but we will do this week. They still have their My Homework Diary, and that's a really good way of keeping track of them noting in there on a daily basis, like what they are doing at home. Yeah. As we get into the new year, there's some other resources that they'll be able to access to do with like comprehension and maths and reading, other things, aren't there?
Yeah. So so a couple of websites that just will be able to kind of engage the children in different ways potentially. Just we're using computing to help them, really, isn't
so
it?
So in the book, they can just write down, I did 10 minutes on this, and I did 5 minutes of that, and it's just just a good way of keeping a record of what they've been up to, really. They need to obviously have their current reading book from the library. We read every afternoon after lunch, or it is in the afternoon after lunch at the minute. It's like 20 past 12, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, so they have their book and they're reading the same book every day, so they get to know their book. Yeah, water bottles, definitely at the minute, very, very important. And a healthy break time snack, which is what they've had all the way through, I think.
Yeah.
So.
And they're working hard. They're growing. They kind of need that sustenance, don't they? They're burning a lot of energy. So load them up.
Yeah, you forget how much your brain uses glycogen, Mr. Land, to work. Lots of glycogen, lots of sugar, but natural sugars will last longer than like chocolate.
Cyclist.
It's like endurance athlete. Okay. Oh, dear me. Oh, have we done this? Yeah, I think we're
6 homework allocation. Yeah, the nature of the homework, it'll be grammar and reading tasks to just supplement what the children are doing in class, just to try and embed it even a little bit more. But it will be a reading and a grammar and a spellings and a maths as well. And the exploring and discussing vocabulary as well. Yeah.
So the spellings will be sort of they'll do daily spelling practice in class as well. So they should know what they're doing with the spellings.
Yeah.
It might be other words, but the words will still be focused on a certain rule or spelling pattern.
Yeah.
So they just need to learn those words for a test on Friday, and they will be tested every Friday on the spellings. Given on a Monday, test on a Friday. Where we can, we'll put them on SumDog, as long as the spellings are available, so they can practice them like they did during the lockdown period on there, in a different medium. That's a good word, Mr. Lance.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah.
We talked about the exploring vocabulary task, and then in the maths, they really will benefit from improving their fluency with numbers. So any work they can do at home with building their speed of recall of number facts. So that could be the multiplication tables or division facts. Anything that's set on SumDog. We can choose activities. They'll just play, but the activity will be targeted to a certain skill. So time on that, either every other day or something, would be really useful. They will also get a written piece of maths homework, and this year there's always 3 levels of challenge within that. So it's like an A, a B, and a C. The A should be really accessible. B will be a decent level of challenge for children in year 6, and then C would just extend them a little bit more. So it's a case of the children really self-selecting and pushing themselves. So if you know your child and they say, I only need to do the A, and you think, I'm not sure about that, then we'll see. Well, we'll see what they do, but I'm sure most children would want to challenge themselves, and maybe they'll do the A and B part,
A and B, or B and
the
C.
B and the C part. So the more they can do, the more they're practicing, and that's good,
Nice.
isn't it?
Yeah, very.
So that's that.
Yeah, we handed that. Yeah, so we've handed out the homeschool agreement last week.
In the home learning diary, that will come out this week. So like we've just spoken about, we've covered that, haven't we?
Efficient.
Efficient.
Good
We're thinking
word,
ahead.
Mr. Pratley. Good word.
So just keep a record of tonight I read that page 5 to page 15. I did 10 minutes on SumDog, and this is really important to us. You can really make good use of the homeschool diary, the homework learning diary, to keep in contact with us as their teacher. So if they are feeling unwell or they're going to go to an appointment or something like that, rather than you send an email, you can just put it in there and then ask the child to hand it to us,
Yeah.
and then we'll know straight away, and then we can let the office know as well. That's it. And then RE links with weekly readings.
Yeah, just within the homeschool diary, there's obviously you have the week, Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday, where the children can write their what they've done, achieved in, and then on the other page there's
it's a liturgical calendar, isn't it?
Yeah.
So whatever we're celebrating in class that week, the readings and everything will tie in with that. And there's some like activities for the children to do in the book.
Yeah.
Just came back to me then. I was a bit flummoxed what that was about. All right, Mr. Land, that's your.
I came up with grit. no, just obviously in the advent of not being able to kind of go to Fairthorne, we will be building in some outdoor adventurous activities throughout the course of the year, and we aim to obviously have one during this autumn term, at least one, and then come probably through into the summer term. We'll be having other days as well. So outdoor adventurous activities, hopefully they're under construction and in the pipeline. I think we got tired there, didn't we? But yeah, just as as with Fairthorne Manor, that was really about challenge by choice, putting themselves in those uncomfortable situations where they could build some of those core values of the school, a bit of resilience, and really kind of that communicating with their peers and working kind of together. And just again, these will be really built in through those days out, and again the curriculum will be explored through those days as well. We'll be able to tie in some learning around that.
I mean, hopefully there are ideas in the pipeline. I think it's just a case of us working out what is achievable under the sort of current COVID restrictions. So we might go to a water sports centre, for example, to go in the water and
close by,
or to do some climbing or archery and things like that. So we just have to have a bit of liaison really to work out what is possible given the sort of constraints that we're under at the minute. But that, I mean, that's something that the children really deserve, and I think they'll really enjoy it, won't they? Well done.
Well done, you got there.
It's quite stressful standing in front of an Apple iPad, isn't it? And talking to no one.
It was 20 minutes.
Yeah, wow. But there you have it. I think that covers most things. If you have any questions whatsoever about like your child's learning this year or expectations or anything like that, or want any clarification, then do get in touch. We're really looking forward to having a fun year. I think we both come to school to try and have sort of fun and engage the kids. So we're looking forward to it, and looking forward to meeting you at the parents' evenings in November.
Lovely.
So thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
There'll probably be another one of these.
Could be another one.
Hopefully we might improve.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Is there a red button?